Hi everyone, Allison Gardner here, and I'm very excited to be with you today. The two things that kind of sent me on this direction for this video are first, it's an LDS Living article that I believe Hank Smith shared, and it talks about how you were given the task to eat a bowl of cereal. And anybody in the world who's not lactose intolerant, trying to eat dairy, anybody else in the world would be able to do very easily. And then he says, so then what if you add arm weights? Very heavy arm weights. All of a sudden, eating that bowl of cereal and getting it all down isn't that easy anymore. Slowly your arms get tired, and slowly you aren't able to eat that bowl of cereal, no matter your intentions, no matter your effort and your desire. And as I thought about that, and then he continues on in the article and says, and so as you are supporting someone with depression, envision them with arm weights on. That though there are tasks that are for you very easy, for them there's a whole mountain of weight that makes the simplest of tasks, and I say that in quotation marks because tasks, simple or no, are different for each person. What we bring to those activities, what we bring to certain tasks, are different for each one of us. So what might be easy for me would be hard for someone else, and what's easy for someone else might be hard for me. So we all have unique gifts and talents that we bring to our daily activities, and those with depression bring even more of their own unique struggles to these activities. And so even though something may be very easy and straightforward to you, I encourage you to step back and think about it from the lens of someone else. Also, in these daily tasks, what's your thought process? What's your mindset? For me, I have expectations and certain ideas about how my life is going to go and how it's going to look and what me and my husband are going to do. And I don't always take into account or remember those weights. And I'm not always the most patient person because we're married, and I understand and recognize that in certain circumstances there are going to be boundaries or parameters that I didn't always realize. And I actually had a really awesome conversation with that with the ladies in my support group. I'm talking about what parameters are in your life. They're not limiting you, but you need to be aware what they are so that you can better support your spouse and better support what they're facing. And realizing that it's not a lack of desire, it really is a lack of energy to back the desire. The second thing that has kind of got me thinking a lot lately is a visit that I had with some very awesome individuals. One was a couple. They had just celebrated their 50-year wedding anniversary. And then another gentleman was on his 49th year. And so I asked them, what is it that you value about your marriage? What is it that brings you joy in your marriage? And what they shared maybe wasn't awe-inspiring or things I had never thought of before, but it was still very important with me, with my 4 years, and them on their 50s, their 50 year and what they thought. And the things that they shared were first commitment, being committed to that other person. And another thing they shared is going through hard times together, knowing that there is someone that has your back and knowing that there is someone who will support you no matter what. Another thing they shared was putting someone else first and putting their needs and their desires and what they're going through first in your life. And as I have pondered since that opportunity, I've thought, how many times did I just create what I wanted in my life and just decided that what I wanted seemed feasible and push for it to happen, and then realized that I had not taken into account the needs of this other person going on this journey with me? How many times did I just go, oh, well, this is so feasible and this isn't a problem, and I just pushed or forced? And so I'd invite you to think of that same thing. When you are thinking, when you're making decisions, when you're going about your life, do you have this what normal people can do expectation? Or even, this is what I could do, so how come somebody else has a problem with it? Is this easy? No. I'm just barely trying to put that in the forefront. And instead of saying, yeah, this is what I want to do, will you support me or will you come? Instead say, I've been thinking about this thing, what do you think? What are your needs in this situation? Where are you coming from? Because with anxiety and depression, what may seem normal for me isn't normal or easy for the people that I care about. And so giving them the space that they need to not only, because there's a difference, this is what I'm really struggling with. There is a really big difference between setting my expectation high, setting what I want, and basically saying it's my way or the highway, and then only after the fact conceding. Because then that person that I love and care about knows that I conceded and knows that that I'm disappointed. They feel that they've disappointed me. No matter how gracefully I try to cover it, or no matter how gracefully I try and support it, that person is still going to feel like they weren't good enough, or they weren't enough for me. But if instead I reach out to them and I say, hey, I've been thinking about this thing. Do you feel like this is something you would like to do? Not, are you able to do? No. Because that makes them feel unable or makes them feel limited. But if I say, is this something you would like to do? They're already going through those gymnastics in their head. They're already going, is this feasible? Am I in a place where I would even enjoy this? Is this going to make me miserable? And then instead of them having to say, no, I don't feel able or I am unable, instead they get to say, no, I'd rather not. And then, because of how I have brought up this conversation and because of the way that I've said, would you like to do this? I'm just thinking about it. I'm not committed. I haven't told anybody I'm going to do it, but I just said that I'm thinking about it. This then, which is the important part, gives them space to say, and I don't want to stop you from what you like. I don't want to stop you, but could you maybe not do it this time either right now? Because that gives them space to share with me their need if in that moment they're not feeling it themselves. And that has just been mind-blowing for me. Does that mean I'm going to be comfortable all the time? No. But does it mean that I learn Christ-like love by giving space to the needs of someone else? Yes. Just as Christ is very aware of our own limitations, that we are working through the best that we can, and He meets us where we are, we too can extend that same love and care to others, when instead of saying, we're doing this awesome thing, you just have to come, we could say, oh, especially in spousal relationships, you can say, I've heard about this thing. It sounds like it could be fun. What do you think? Because then you give them space to be where they are and not feel as though they had to be forced from what they are able to do into something they might not feel equal to and feel like they're disappointing you. So I would invite you to ponder this week, what are ways that you can do to invite everyone to be at the table, to rejoice together, and to feel that love, inclusion, ability, and equality. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me on this next step of the journey. Bye!